What's up, my guy? What's up, man? Good to see you.
What's up, Doug?
Hello.
Obviously still not far removed from you getting the job, but
Yeah.
right in front here.
There you go.
What's going on? Obviously still not far removed from you getting the job, but just having these couple days to kind of wrap your head around it, what's been at front of your mind, and how much do you imagine that you're going to carry over things from Mike compared to making some of your own changes?
First of all, I was just telling Shannon, like, looking in the mirror and going to places, and they're like, hey, coach, and, they were doing that before, but it's, like, different, so it still hasn't totally sunk in, but we're here to win, and whatever that means, for you guys, I'm not sure. I'm gonna tweak and prod and push and expect and go at it. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to win. Nothing else. So we don't know what that means right now. Offense the other night I thought was good, defense was not, and now that needs to be the next step in the process, is continuing to be better defensively.
Coach Christie, in the last 72 hours, just want to know where you are mentally and physically, as far as, and the coaching staff as well. Have you been getting any sleep, or are you just still trying to absorb everything?
The coaching staff, I hope, gets sleep. I did not. I got a 90-minute nap the other day, but I had planned to go to LA to sleep a little bit because I had been scouting, but this is part of what we do. This is the life that we chose, and we love it. It's part of the grind from being a player to now being a coach. The same things. As players, we don't get a lot of sleep. We try to make sure that they get sleep. But as a coach, like, you want to be good, you want to be the best, and so that they don't necessarily go together, and you understand that. So am I a little sleep deprived? Probably, but oh well.
Doug, for you, what's the message to the fan base?
Well, I love you first, because this is an incredible fan base. But I would say, more than anything, know that we are here to put a product out on the floor that makes you proud. It doesn't really go farther than that. Where that leads us, I think everyone in this room understands who I am and what I'm trying to do, so I don't need to reiterate that. But first and foremost, like, there's steps to that process. And the first step is that when they walk in the doors and they leave the doors, they know that that team played their fucking ass off, period. Yeah.
Doug, you're gonna get fined for that.
Am I really? Did I get fined? It kind of just came out. I apologize. Why do you ask a question like that? The emotional question. My bad. I'll be better.
Yeah, Doug, I know you feel like you have unfinished business here, and we've had plenty of conversations in the past about that, but this is an opportunity that's much different than the one that almost came up a couple of years ago. How much better prepared are you today?
A lot, and I said this the other day when we were in Los Angeles. Like, I thank Mike, first of all, go back to Luke Walton. I thank Luke Walton. I thank Mike for keeping me on, but I learned so much under him, and just watching the process and being a part of the process and studying and working, and that's what I try to do, because I want to be good at anything that I do. So I'll be better tomorrow. Every day I'm trying to be better. So I'm going to learn something tonight. I learned something in LA. I'm going to just continue on down the road, but a lot farther along, I would say.
Hey, Doug, over here to your left.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Know the voice.
I'm curious. I know that like Chauncey Billups did this, J.J. Redick, Steve Kerr. Some players went playing to broadcasting for a few years to coaching, as you did. This may seem like kind of an off-the-wall question, but I'm curious about, you talked about process. How did that help you in your process, studying the game, studying the leagues, preparing for analyzing the game from that perspective? I would be curious to get your perspective on that.
Yeah, I think it does in a lot of ways, because you're right. Like, Dev, like, when you play the game, we watch it in a certain way, and then I had to get a broadcaster eye. And then when I got in the coaching staff, I had to get a coaching eye. And then that eye continues to grow, because there are certain aspects of it, like when I'm playing, I feel it. I don't need any help. I can feel it. But sometimes when you're watching it, you got to watch for certain things. And my eye might drift because my eye as a player would drift, but that's the playing aspect of it. Like I'm a play ahead going that way, whereas in the coaching, I needed to see the technique. Was the technique right? I passed the technique because physically we can overcome that. You can't do that anymore, and that's why I'm standing on the sideline. So they all kind of go together. It's and to listen to a lot of my counterparts when we talk about the game, you can hear that they played, you know the different aspects of the game, but the coaching part is trying to manipulate the game, yes, but I try to move out of the way, and because let's make no mistake about it, these are the greatest athletes in the world, and they do things that only certain people in this world can do, and part of my job is to get the heck out of the way and allow Fox and Domas and DeMar and Malik and like do what you do. I'll put you in a position, but I can't past that. It's on you because you're great at what you do.
Yes.
Hey Doug, I got two for you. Number one, it feels like the last couple of years there's been a little kind of like push and pull within the organization in terms of offense and defense, and you know Mike made it a big emphasis to get better defensively. How do you view that in terms of what you guys can do offensively and what you need to do defensively?
It's an interesting question because when I was a player, they would ask questions like, well, what'd you work on in the summertime? Some players have an answer for that. I'm an all-around player, and I expect our team to be an all-around team. So when I'm thinking about offensively, yeah, I want to be a juggernaut offensively. But then at the same time, I'm going to need it on the other end of the floor. And that was my message after the game. It's like, listen, guys, we played at a high level. The pace was fantastic. I thought we ran out of a little bit of gas because what I'm asking you to do, the fact that I was able to do it at that level, I know the conditioning required to do that, and we're not all the way there. So it's a good question, but for me, I need both sides of the ball because that's the only way that we get to where we want to go.
Jason, we'll come back. Jason?
What specifically, Doug, back here, something. What specifically do you want to see defensively from this group based on what you have?
Improvement, first and foremost. Like, I understand, like, you're not gonna go to sleep and wake up and you're gonna be the best defensive team in the world, but there are incremental things that we can do to become better. And in game one, I wanted to simplify the offense, and we did that, and that's what you saw. And now I want to simplify the defense, and hopefully we'll see a little bit of that. We didn't have practice, we only shot, but these guys are so brilliant, like you tell them certain things and they're able to physically manifest it. So I just want to see improvement. You know, pick and roll defense isn't good, different aspects, and I know that we can be that, and we have to lock in and we have to go do our jobs, and that is what I'm asking of them every single night.
Doug, you guys have been top 10 offensively for most of this season in the teams defensively, but obviously the clutch stats and the record in clutch games being one of the worst in the league. What needs to change in that area specifically for you guys to be better in the clutch?
Clutch is who wants it the most. Clutch is who's willing to dive on the floor, who's willing to sacrifice themselves in a way that it's gonna hurt. I'm willing to go farther than you're willing to go. And that's where we have to continue to grow. Clutch has to mean something when it gets to butter clock and the shot goes up. At this moment, it's me or you, and it's always me. And when we get to that point, then we'll make that step where those statistics start to change. And that's what I'm asking. Like, when it comes to that point, what are you willing to do? I know what I'm willing to do for you, and I'm gonna support them in any way I can, because it'll always be my fault. It'll never be their fault. They go do their job. I'm here to take the bullets.
DC back here. Thinking back to your time as a player if you were to put yourself in that position, what would you expect or want or need from a coach in your position currently?
Probably, understanding, some love, because obviously it wasn't going the way that we expected. We've probably been beat up a little bit, and now it's time to love on each other a little bit to try to get to where we need to go. Some understanding, and I hope that I do all of those things. It's, this is hard. This is a high leverage, the best in the world. There's only a certain amount of people that do it from my perspective and the player's perspective. So the pressure is whatever you say about the word pressure, but it's there. And with social media and a lot of different things, I'm sure that they feel it, but I want them to know that when they walk in, this is a safe place, but it's a place that we sharpen our tools, so when we go out, we take care of business. So that would probably be a long-winded answer of what I expect or hope.